Hello everyone, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful night. Ubisoft is deleting the crew from players' library, reminding us we own nothing. The company is pulling license from paying customers now that the servers have shut down. So, context. The crew officially shut down on April 1st. This is an online racing game that people can no longer access, even though there's apparently an offline mode that Ubisoft never made public. Not sure if this is true or not. I don't think it would be that much of an effort in order to make it public, to make an offline mode. But most publishers don't give a damn once these games kind of go offline. They just allow people to do whatever they want. EA actually allows people to host private servers for very dead games, but for the most part, publishers really don't care about dead games as long as you're, not selling the product. Nintendo is one of the exceptions, but that's because they don't allow options to purchase their game legally. They just kind of say whatever, and people go to emulation, and they're venomously against emulation despite not having an option to purchase their game legally. Just for example, Spider-Man Edge of Time and Shattered Dimensions can't purchase this game legally through any digital store, and it goes for about $100 if you want to buy this game nowadays. And it's incredibly damning because Amazon has a real issue when it comes to people printing discs with emulation software on them, and they don't always work on hardware, especially if you put it in a PlayStation 3. I would recommend you buy these games through eBay because eBay actually has pretty good buyer protection. Story mode, I purchased two PlayStation 3 controllers from two separate buyers. The first one, they gave me a broken controller. eBay gave me my money back, and the second time, the person was apparently selling false controllers, and eBay shut down their account and gave me back my money. So, eBay tends to be really good when it comes to consumer protection. But either way, this is also more alarming because it comes at the tail end of a brand new video from Accursed Farms, which is generating a lot of notoriety because he's kind of leading the charge against game preservation, which is becoming an increased issue with 87% of classic video games being inaccessible due to an array of options. Licenses, like I said, with Spider-Man Edge of Time and Shattered Dimension, simply not having viable physical options where the game's sold enough, where there are enough physical options that players can buy them, not being available on platforms that people use on modern day like PC, and just an array of options. There's also an issue with emulation. Just because something is in an emulation doesn't mean that it runs correctly. There are an array of functions that need to be implemented in order to ensure that the game can run on mouse and keyboard or run on some sort of modern day controller that you plug into your PC. There are mods, but they're not always perfect, so there are still major issues that come to this. But yeah, so we can see here from this tweet, I'm getting reports that people are having the crew revoked on people's accounts on Ubisoft Connect. I'm not sure that even matters since they made it inoperable anyway, but many in Europe seem to think this is illegal. Many doesn't change our plans either way, can only help. Also, lawsuit removed from my account. I'm in the EU lawsuit time. So you can see here from the tweets, a lot of people are extremely annoyed by this because it's an extremely dangerous precedent. It's like what happened with the Stellar Blade situation where the demo was released early, people got access to them, and then Sony just essentially had a kill switch ready to just make the demo inoperable. Now, this is a demo, it's free, anyone can access it on a PlayStation 5, but it just sends a very dangerous precedent, meaning with the Ubisoft system that anyone can flip a switch, a publisher, and say, the game that you bought, full price, gone, you can't access it anymore. Imagine if any other product worked that way. For example, my Google phone. Say Google decides not to sell the phone where you can own it. I mean, there's a lot of legality about this. Louis Rossman does a lot of great videos about it. But say, for example, I bought this phone. I own it. If I want to throw this against the wall, if I want to set it on fire, if I want to resell it, I am free to do so. But say Google decided, no, we're going to sell you the license to own the phone, and the second that license is up, you have to renew it. On top of it, if we decide not to renew it, we will come back and take the phone. So if you don't think that will ever happen, it's happening to games right now because this sets a very dangerous precedent about that. And I guarantee you, if any company could do this, they would do this in a heartbeat to make more money. So in this situation, it's an extreme, even though the game is inoperable, it's still, you purchase the game, it's still be available in your library. Take, for example, what happened with Spec Ops The Line. This game was recently removed from all digital stores, but since I purchased this game, I can download the game at any time on Steam. Same thing for the original versions of the GTA games like GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. A lot of people hated the Definitive Edition for a lot of valid reasons. It was a crappy remaster, but people were unable to purchase the original games, especially with all the new mods that made the games way better than the Definitive Edition, because Rockstar removed all access to purchasing those games. But if you purchased it prior to that, you can still download those games. But imagine if they decided, you know what, moving forward, even if you purchase those games, you can no longer re-download them. They're gone forever. That's it. That should be concerning to you, because it means that at any time, no matter how much you've paid for these games, people now pay $70 for standard games, and they can go up to $120, sometimes even $200 for digital deluxe editions. And now you can't access their game. They just decide to take it out, and I guarantee you they'll probably re-release it, like maybe on the next platform, and say, you want to replay The Crew? Well, you can now. It's only $40. So in a lot of ways, you should be very, very alarmed if this ever becomes a standard norm where at any time they can remove access to these titles, just remove your licenses. And now that digital games have become more prominent, more people buy games digitally because of a variety of options, convenience being the biggest one, but there are also people who just don't have access to stores as they used to, or delivery options are very concerning because there are a lot of package thieves. So if you buy a brand new game, there's a chance it might get stolen, especially if you live in a bad neighborhood. So digital games offer a lot of convenience and security to them, but there's also the other side to the argument, such as not only publishers now taking the license back, but there's also your accounts can get banned, can get hacked. There are an array of other concerns that you have to deal with. So on top to publishers just taking away your games, there are now other issues you have to deal with. So that's what I want to talk about, because I really hope this doesn't become a norm moving forward, like with the NFT situation where gamers bullied them out of our sphere. Like, you have to really fuck up to have console, PC, and retro gamers all unite under a common banner. And I feel like this is one of those banners that a lot of people just say, no, fuck this. We don't want this. And I'm getting really heated about it because there are some defenders of this garbage, and I just want to go through their head and wonder about the amount of bullshit that they just try and state to people to try and convince us that this should be the norm, that this is okay. Because there are dumbasses who are saying, oh, well, we don't care about older games, just buy the new game, and if there's an HD collection, just buy that. Why? What in your giant, stupid-ass brain, smooth brain ideology that you are okay with purchasing something and then later getting it removed and revoked from you? Like, why would you ever want that? Why would you ever encourage that? It doesn't matter how old the game is. If you bought it, you should have full ownership of that game. Like, why would you ever convince the latter that it's okay to not own the stuff that you've purchased? Like, you can hate older games. You could say, I never want to play the original Silent Hill because it looks like garbage, or Halo Combat Evolved, or Super Mario Bros. World. Fine. But if I bought a copy of that game, even if it's a digital copy, I should own that. I should have access to it. And yes, there are arguments to it. Like, suddenly, like, the PlayStation 3 isn't going to last forever. The Xbox 360 is about to shut down their digital store. I understand that. Nothing lasts forever. Physical media doesn't last forever. This is the physical game here. It's not here right now. It's in my Switch. But it's going to die. Eventually, everything fades into oblivion. But I should have access to it in some capacity within a reasonable amount of time. My freaking copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 for my PlayStation 2 still works. I can pop that into my PlayStation 3 and it still works. So within reason, it should work. So, yeah, tell me what you think in the comments below about this. I might just upload this video raw because I don't want to edit it. I want to have my raw argument here, but tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, dislike, whatever you choose. Bye.